Welcome to another episode of Jase Sean's Beer Guide. This one is a little bit special. A few months ago, we were supposed to be somewhere else. However, with COVID and everything else that's been going on, we decided on doing something local to Sean. So Jase, being me, tracked up there and we did some filming and we found one of Britain's quirkiest pubs. And here it is, in full flow. We hope you enjoy and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers! North East England, South Shields to be precise, home to the sand dancers. They get their name from their long sandy beaches where the locals would dance upon. They are a subculture of the famous Geordies. Initially, this part of England was well known for mining and shipping goods from parts further afield. The Shields became Shields when the harbour wall was built. It is the oldest and largest town in South Tyneside, and next door to it is a small village called Marsden. In Marsden you'll find a golf course overlooking the sea, and a pub called the Marsden Grotto, which was created in 1782 by Jack Bates. Known as the Blaster from his days as a miner, he blasted what is now the grotto out of what me and Sean thought was sandstone, but after doing research we discovered it's actually limestone.
So come here, me little Jackie, now I've smoked me baccy, let's have some cracky till the boat comes in. 'Cause here's your mother coming, like a canny woman, yonder comes your father drunk, he cannot stand. And Tommy's always fuddling, he's so fond of ale, he's very kind to me, I hope he'll never fail. And I like it up myself when I can get it sly, and you, me bonny Ben, you like it well as I. And may we get a drop as oft we stand in need, and we'll make the keel road that brings the bends that breed.
We are going from here to there on a ferry. We found a boat.
On a boat?
On the boat!
On the boat?
On the boat! It's quite relaxing out here, to be fair. Sean's doing a Facebook Live as we speak on the group. He's probably going to sort of pan round to me in a minute and go, yeah, here's that numpty. Hello. Right. So yeah, we are river time.
We are sailing.
We are sailing. As long as it doesn't change to sinking, we'll go with that, mate. Ye landlords vile, who man's place mar, come levy rents here if you can. Your stewards and lawyers I defy, and live with all the rights of a man. So, welcome. We're here in South Shields. Marsden. We're in Marsden, just south of South Shields. Is that right?
Just south of South Shields.
Just ignore the birds, nothing they can do about nature. We're here at the Grotto. Established in 1782. We'll talk more about that when we get in there. But this has got to be one of Britain's quirkiest pubs, hasn't it? Sean's been here many times now. Sean now lives just down the road.
I do, it's quite an interesting place to be. It's absolutely gorgeous. And got see behind us. This is going to be quirky, and we will show you why in a minute.
Very quirky. We are now going inside. We're going down, deeper and down. here we are down in the main bar area. We're in what I'm now calling Cozy Corner.
Cozy corner.
Cozy Corner. It's really snug in here. As you can see, it's all the original cave work. And we believe it could be sandstone.
We believe so. We believe it's sandstone, but no other reasons to doubt it.
It's very evasive.
It is.
And it was blasted out in 1782 by a bloke called Jack Bates. And he was nicknamed the Blaster because he made this unique bar. And as I've said upstairs already, it is one of the most unique bars I've ever come across.
It is.
It's got to be one of the most unique in Britain.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You've got the main ballroom, Marsden deep ballroom. You've got a nice little area with sea views as well at the front there. Just shame it takes about 5 minutes to get down the lift.
Yeah,
So
the lift isn't the quickest. Don't expect, Star Trek Enterprise or anything like that. Can you do the lift noise of Star Trek Enterprise?
I could do the beam me up, Scotty. That's better. No, I'm not going to do that.
The Star Trek doors were shoots.
Okay.
There we go. So, yeah, moving on. About the place. How did we find it? I found it about... I'm going to give my age away now. I'm going to give my age away. I was about 12 years old, so 17 years ago. My maths right there. About 17 years ago I first came here. It was a family holiday. We'd gone to see a relative up in Durham, which isn't that far, I believe.
No, it's not too far.
Passed it on the way in.
Yeah, it's not too far.
And the reason we found this place was because I had football practice on a Wednesday. I remember it being a Wednesday and I wanted to go home for football practice. And I'm like, no Jase, we're not taking you home, we're on holiday. I'm like, I'm missing football practice. It was late July, so, I mean, it's October now, just turned. And the sea is a bit choppy out there. It was gorgeous in July, beaming hot sun. And they said, tell you what Jase, we'll take you to the beach. Okay. It just so happened that someone that I was with wanted to go to the pub, and so they found this place. And it looked a lot different back then. It really did look a lot different. From what I can remember as a kid, you come down the left, the bar was more that way from where the bar is now. So where the kitchen's at the far end.
Mm-hmm.
Where the kitchens are, that used to be like the bar area. And then you come out onto like the patio. The patio wasn't there, just straight onto the beach.
Right.
But I believe that looking at the way that the tide's coming now, you could stay open longer if they built a wall, so that's why they built the garden terrace. From what I remember, that terrace wasn't there. But again, 17 years ago. I mean, sometimes I struggle to remember what I had for dinner last night, so I could be wrong there. So anyway, Sean, how did you find the place?
I found it, obviously you told me about it and you want to come film in here, and I have a friend, well I've got a couple of friends around here who confirmed that this was the place that you were talking about. So I came up, had a look around and stuff, and fell in love with the place instantly.
And then moved here.
And then I've moved it here. So, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful area of the country. It's a beautiful little quirky pub slash eatery. I just think it's as a cave, you think it'd be really cold and stuff, but it's not. My nipples can't go diamonds just yet. But it's gorgeous. It's so quirky. It's like you've rightly said, this little cozy corner. You can really tell we're in the cave. And I think like stuff like this little candelabra. I say little candelabra.
It's the biggest candelabra I've seen. Really.
This candelabra just gives it a nice little touch and stuff. In the decor, you've got oars, you've got rudders, you've got lobster traps, you've got buoys,
You've got a pirate sail on the ceiling.
you've got a sail on the ceiling. Yeah, it's just so unique. It's absolutely fantastic. I really like it, and I hope that it carries on for a long time.
You only do the beer selection for me. This is the one qualm I've got about it. Yeah, it's a great pub. The beer selection is rather limited.
I'd say so. You've got your Murray, your Peroni, your Carling, and then like Guinness, and I think it's Caffrey's, and I think it's also Sturford Press cider. I can't quite remember. But a couple of handfuls.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A couple of handfuls.
A couple of blondes, a couple, maybe a bitter.
Yeah. The only issue is, I'll let you into a little secret about this place, because I was asking the chef, I think it was the chef, Basically, they used to have the kegs and everything upstairs, where they are now hotel rooms. If you want to stay over, they've got hotel rooms. So they've got hotel rooms upstairs. That's where they used to have the barrels dripping into, well, pumped into the pipes downstairs. But they moved it to the far end, and when you come here, you're going to come here. When you come here, you'll see like loads of. It looks like car hosing, you know, like radiator pipes.
Yeah,
You've got all the piping running through, and they have actually confirmed that that is the pipes from the barrels. So I think because it's on a level, they've got to use an electric pump to get the beer flowing through. Where if you had a hand pump, you wouldn't have that. So they'd have to find somewhere to store the barrels, and that's probably a big factor as to why they haven't got hand pumps.
Quite possibly, quite possibly.
It's difficult to say, but that'd be my logic behind it, because you couldn't put an electric pump on an old wooden cask or a metal cask. You know, like traditional.
You wouldn't necessarily have to put an electric pump on these either, as obviously the gas goes in and that'll pressurise it.
Yeah.
Push it through the systems, but
it'd be tricky, I think.
Possibly. But anyway, it's a quick little place.
We love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So leave it there, and we'll pass you on to the next scene,
Which is me talking about the history. So you'll get some imagery, you'll get a view of the beach, and a view from outside, a view from inside, and you'll get a full walk around to the place. And I'll give as much information as I can from the information I've gathered, and there is a lot of it.
there certainly
So
is.
please don't fall asleep. We will be back momentarily, just to wind up and wrap up, wind up. We wind each other up. We do wind each other up. We'll wind each other up and then we'll wrap up, okay? Catch you in a minute. Enjoy the next bit. The Marsden Grotto, known locally as the Grotto. It's a gastro pub located on the coast at Marsden. It is partly dug into the cliff face and fronted with a more conventional building opening onto the beach. The pub is one of the very few cave bars in Europe. The venue includes a large bar, inside the cave another bar and pool room, a bistro, a heated terrace on the beach, and a seafood restaurant upstairs. Access is either by a lift from the car park or by a zigzag staircase on the cliff at the side of the building. The lift is housed in the brick shaft rising from the front of the building. A lead miner from Allendale, Jack Bates, and his wife Jase moved to the area in 1782. It is alleged he moved into a small cave at Marsden Rock either after refusing to pay rent on his house in Allendale or simply having nowhere to live. Using the explosives from a local quarry, he blasted the small cave into a much larger one, earning his nickname Jack the Blaster. He created a rent-free and landlord-free home. The dwelling was accessed by zigzagging stairs down the cliff, thought to already have been built by Jack. The unusual and eccentric choice of dwelling attracted visitors, which the couple supplied with refreshments at a cost. It is suggested that he became involved in smuggling activities, offering refreshments to smugglers using caves of the coastline to hide contraband cargo. Peter Allen, a local man, although originally from Scotland, was also a pub landlord. He took over the grotto and developed it with money allegedly won at the races. His father was the gamekeeper of Sir Hedworth Williamson. Allen restored and extended the caves into a 15-room home, including a ballroom and kitchen, turning Jack's house into an inn. In 1848, John Clay, who later became the first mayor of the county of South Shields, bought the lease and claimed that the land gave him right to the grotto. Allen battled with Clay in court and was forced to pay £50 costs and £10 annual rent for 20 years. Allen sank into depression and died in 1849, leaving his wife and 8 children. After Allen's death, his family continued to run the grotto for an additional 35 years. In this time, many improvements were made, along with further excavations implemented by Allen's children. A catastrophic cliff fall in 1865 almost destroyed the inn. Large retaining walls were built to protect the internal structure. The Heart and Coal Company acquired the grotto in the latter half of the 19th century. It had substantial success during this period, but it was also allowed to fall into disrepair.
Vox took over the grotto in 1898. They decided to clean the place up as it was littered with empty beer barrels that draymen would not collect. In 1938, Vox purchased the grotto and set upon a large refurbishment programme. The buildings joined onto the caves were rebuilt to a high standard. A lift was also added to the surface. In 1999, Vox decided to concentrate more on their hotel and leisure business rather than operate a brewery. A buyer could not be found for the grotto and it closed down. For a place that's been around for a long time and steeped in so much glorious history, then naturally there is the ghost stories. This one is about a smuggler named John the Gibber, who was reputedly murdered by his fellow criminals after selling information to HM Customs. It is said that he was hung in a barrel in a cave close to the present lift shaft and left to starve. Until the pub was sold by Vox, it was said that the landlord would leave out a special tankard of ale each night after closing and, in the morning, it would be empty. Local DJ and TV presenter Alan Robson drank from the tankard during one of his live Metro radio shows, allegedly sparking off a series of supernatural phenomena that eventually forced the then landlord to quit. This included flying ashtrays smashing against the wall and flooding in the cellar after all the beer taps were unexplainably turned on. The original tankard was lost during the refurbishment. A replacement is on display but is no longer filled up each night for the ghost. The pub was also the venue for a UK TV investigation in 2001 where paranormal researchers claim to have identified at least 7 different ghosts.
So our time here at the grotto is now over. We hope you've really enjoyed this episode. Sean, over to you. What have you got to say?
Yeah, I really enjoyed making this one. It's like I said, a really great place. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the beautiful coastline behind us.
It's cold.
It's getting cold now, so yeah, we definitely need to wrap this up. So thank you for watching. We'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, stay safe. Bottoms up.
And stay quirky.